Why is tea called tea? Why is it called cha in some places? And why is it also called chai?
Can I have a refill on my chai tea?
Some people say that all three pronunciations come from China. Is it true? Today we're going to answer all of that. Before we dive in though, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. First, why is tea called tea? Well, first a little English lesson. You see, tea was not called tea when it was first introduced to England. Why not? Well, tea was introduced to England in the 17th century, right when the English language was going through something called the Great Vowel Shift. In this shift, words such as it turned into eat, wheat became wheat, meat became meat. So in the Knight's Tale of the Canterbury Tales, his slip, his meat, his drink is him bereft, became his sleep, his meat, his drink is of him bereft. And of course, te turned into tea. So it was never tea to begin with. It was te, or more like te. Okay then, so where did te come from? Well, I'll show you, because it's still pronounced te over there. In the southeastern Min dialect region of China, the word for tea is te, and much of the tea that was first introduced to Europe came from this particular region. Okay then, but what about the cha pronunciation? Well, outside of the Min region, everywhere else in China, the word for tea was cha. In the northern capitals of China, where tea was exported to the west via the Silk Road, the word for tea was cha. In the southern ports of Canton and Macau, where tea was shipped to Europe via the sea lane, the word for tea was ca. Outside of the Min region, the pronunciation cha was everywhere. Now, tea and cha, they sound very different. Could they possibly be the same word? Oh wait, it's not tea and cha, it's te and cha. Are they the same word? Let's look at it this way. Let's spell out the word tea. T-E-A. T is pronounced t, E is pronounced E, and A is pronounced A. If we string these three pronunciations together, t, E, A, we get something like tia, tia. I believe that something like tia was the ancestor to both the words tea and cha. How does that work? Well, let's first look at how tia changes to tea. If you look at the affirmative word in most Germanic languages, the word is ja, kind of like English, ja. Now that ya later changed to yay because the ya kind of pulled the low vowel a upward to a higher position a, so ya became yay. And then in some other languages such as Scots, yay later became a. So ya becomes yay becomes a, and that is how tia becomes te. Now how does tia become cha? Well, let's consider this situation. In English, you might say something like, won't you? Won't you can be said as won't ya? And then won't ya can become won't ya. Okay, won't ya to won't ya. The tia becomes a cha sound. That is very natural in the languages of the world. When you say don't you can also become don't ya becomes don't ya. When I say got you can become got ya, which becomes gotcha. So when you have ta and ya together, it often becomes a cha sound. And that is the way in which the tia pronunciation becomes cha. So te and cha are really the same word. When the t combines with the ya to produce a cha sound, tia becomes cha. When the ya pulls the a vowel up to the a vowel, when ya becomes yay becomes a, then tia becomes te. Cha, te, the same word really. But what about chai? Where did chai come from? In case you didn't notice, chai is basically just cha plus an e ending. Okay, cha plus e, chai, chai, chai. Okay, that's how you go from cha to chai. But then what is this e ending? The e ending is something we call a diminutive suffix. It's a suffix attached to a word that makes it sound smaller and cuter. I'll give you an example. If you take the name John and you add E, you get Johnny. You take the name Bill and add E and you get Billy. You take the word dog and you add E, you get doggy. Okay, so the E attached to a name or a word makes it sound smaller or cuter or more informal or more approachable. Now, did Chinese have the same E ending? Did it have the same diminutive suffix as English? Well, some of you might know that Mandarin does have a diminutive ending, but it's not pronounced E, it's pronounced So, for example, if you take the Mandarin word for dog, which is go, you add the ending and you get go for doggy. The word for cat is mao. You add and you get mao for kitty. Okay, so that's the diminutive ending in Mandarin. But how did we get from to E? Well, you see, the diminutive ending in Chinese was not always pronounced 1,000 years ago, back in the Tang Dynasty, it was pronounced something like ni. And you still get that ni pronunciation preserved in places like Japan and Vietnam. So, for example, for the same syllable, the word for the number 2, which is in Mandarin, in Japanese, it's pronounced ni. Now, although this ending was pronounced ni in Middle Chinese, when you get to the western fringes of the Chinese Empire along the Silk Road, that N was lost, and all you have left is an E sound. The ending is pronounced E to this day in certain dialects such as modern Cantonese, and in many of the Mandarin dialects in regions of Western China. So that diminutive ending was pronounced E along the Silk Road, and that is most likely how this E was attached to cha to produce chai. You might think I'm making all of this up, but I have evidence. Look at opera manuals from the Yuan Dynasty. In these 13th century manuscripts, you can find numerous such instances of cha plus a cuter ending. So chai is just cha plus E to make it sound more informal, to make it sound more approachable. So to recap a little bit, the old word for tea is most likely something like tia. Now in tia, when the ya combines with the vowel a, it moves it to the A position and you get te. If the ya combines with the consonant tia, then ta plus ya produces the affricate cha and you get cha. And if you take cha and add a diminutive E ending, you get chai. That is how you get tea, cha, and chai, all from the same word. Now you might ask, where did the old word tia come from? Well, in Southeast Asia and the Himalayas, where the tea plant came from, they have a word called liap or diap. It is believed that liap turned into diap. Diap lost its P ending and became dia or tia, and tia became ancestral to both tea and cha. Now, what is this liap word? What does it mean? Let's take it apart. Liap is a combination of l, e, a, and p. This is actually a word that we have in English, except in English, the p sound at the very end weakened to an f sound. So in English, we have l, e, a, f, which is the word leaf. So the Southeast Asian word liap is actually cognates with the English word leaf. So the word leaf in the form of liap became diap. Diap lost its P ending and became dia or tia. Tia later turned into both tea and cha acquired an E ending to become chai. So when you look at it this way, where did the word tea come from? Tea is just another word for leaf, really. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'll see you next time.